Yes, sir. Oh, damn, Adrian in here right
What up,
away.
y'all?
Happy Monday, family. Yeah, happy second week of the month.
What's up,
Not,
guys?
not.
Technically.
I guess. All right. Weird way of
Yeah,
thinking about
technically.
it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
technically.
I mean, Adrian beat us to stream today, so he can say whatever he wants.
Yes,
So
yeah, that's facts.
sounds
Right
good.
there.
What up,
Cool.
Carol? We got Lewis HJC as well. Yeah. Let us know what questions you guys got. We're live every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. All four of us typically, and yeah, here to answer any questions you guys got. How's the week going for you guys so far?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, George? Yes, sir. What up, Hunter? Ooh, okay. Ooh, damn. Okay, cool. So interesting here. What's up, Andres? Spent 4 hours at Raw scanning items. All the items that were profitable were gated. What strategy would you recommend? So that's awesome that you're finding some profitable stuff, right? What you want to be doing, Andres, is as you go, make sure you're manually requesting auto ungate on your Seller Amp app, right? Because probably some of that stuff will automatic approve if you make sure you're hitting request approval and apply to sell right there, which you might not have been. I think a lot of beginners go wrong with auto ungates. They think that if it gives like the apply to sell request approval, once you put the condition and hit sell or apply to sell, that means they're gated. You have to go through that whole process, which is 2 buttons, right? A couple buttons to see if it asks for documents or if it lets you list it right away, if it asks for condition, size, etc. Right there. So you probably did miss some auto ungates in there. And then what you also want to do, Andres, too, is check if it's asking for the category or if it's asking for the brand, right? It might be asking for both, right? But oftentimes, I didn't know you could do that, so we don't have to. On many items you do, man, but some items you don't, so you always got to check. Yeah, you always got to check there. Yeah.
Well, and keep in mind too that if those products were profitable, but even if you were gated, sometimes you can still sell them on eBay for a profit, right? And sometimes even Facebook Marketplace. So don't think that Amazon's the end all be all. Sometimes there's other opportunities to still move those products.
Or maybe worth the ungate, right? I mean, if you can make $400,
Right.
$500, $600 on the brand, on those products, maybe ungate the brand for $60, $70, and then you have that ungate moving forward.
Yeah,
for sure. What up, Joe?
Ooh, okay, interesting. Okay, Jorge says, "What software do you recommend to track price drops from retailers there?" Distill.io is good, and then also a really good idea too is to any items you're super excited about, don't be afraid to just keep the Safari open in your phone browser and just refresh it every now and again. Some websites will let you put in your email to get notified when a product restocks as well. And then also some places will notify you by email. And then I also like the idea of having a burner email address to get notified of sales all the time from these different retailers too. And with Prime Day going down, there's a bunch of other sales going down too, as well.
Yep, for sure. What up, Christian? He said, you have a bunch of baby clothing from Target. Okay, cool. I assume you're talking. Okay, cool. So you mentioned some of those other brands. If you're curious if the like a brand is going to IP complain, that kind of thing, just make sure the brand doesn't sell it, or make sure there's not like a huge like drop off in seller count. You're probably good.
Yeah,
with
the drop
those
off
brands
in the seller
specific
count's the dead giveaway.
Yeah, with those brands specifically, they're usually safe, Christian.
So, good question here. Top 3 things to look out for Q4 for both OA as well as wholesale.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'd say the number one thing to look out for is just the new offer count heading into that week of December 14th through 21st. So a lot of times that's the biggest week. What I like to do is oftentimes I'll hold my price high in the first week or 2 of December. And then once we get into that week, then you'll see other people start to sell out. The buy box price will start to go up and you'll actually start selling at a much higher price. So sometimes when you think you might make $2 or $3 profit per unit, if you hold out until that week, you might make $4, $5, $6 profit per unit. So that's probably my biggest tip is on your best selling Q4 products. Be patient and hold out for that week of the 14th through the 21st.
Yeah, and really just that whole December 5th to the 20th period is the best FBM period all year, specifically for arbitrage. There's so much money in there, right? Buying stuff from pickup orders or buying stuff retail arbitrage and getting it listed ASAP. Right there, we just had a really good coaching call the past hour on that kind of stuff. Do you use? So I don't, but I have seen that be a good resource there. Okay. Don't know the validity of this story, but alleged right here.
Initially engaged. Yeah, I'm not engaged. I don't know why.
All right.
Where he got
I don't
that.
know what I don't know what burner account that is. Half the question was just what someone said. You have an 1,800 list. Yeah, Romain. I'll drop a link in chat. It's also linked in the description. Or you can go to flips4miles.gumroad.com on there. That's love. Someone was spreading. That's fire right there. Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir. Pete, family. Some of Pete's stocks were pumping today. That's love.
See, Bless, you're asking about what credit card do you recommend? You're going with the MX Blue. Yeah, it's a good place to start if you have like no business
That's
credit.
totally a good place to start. Yeah.
Usually we'll also say like Plum for extended payback or Cap One Spark for just cashback benefits, basically.
Really good benefits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's facts right there. Hairdresser. It did look good though, but yeah, you're completely right there. You see all natural G-Body event special right there, right?
See, said, are there any Q4 seasonal items you want to avoid due to oversaturation or risk? Yeah, good question. I mean, like a lot of people when they think of Q4 sourcing or just like any seasonal sourcing, right? You think you got to source the ornaments or the Halloween inflatables and that kind of thing, right? What's going to be safer if you're a beginner is the stuff that always sells but sells faster during that period, right? So not the Christmas lights, but the toys that they're still going to sell, but they're obviously going to sell a lot faster during that period. If you are going to do like super seasonal stuff, just FBM it though, and you'll see a bunch of stuff that's like becomes super limited in demand. You can place like a pickup order at your local Walmart, get it sold same day, that kind of thing. If you are going to do like more risky, like very seasonal type stuff.
Yeah. Shoes, clothing, seasonal grocery. It's all that giftable stuff. After spending money on a site once, is it good to spreadsheet it? Yeah, totally. Especially keeping track of the discounts, right? That's the kind of stuff you definitely don't have to do, but that is, a very good thing that people do. Right there. Yeah.
Restockopolis. It's pretty good. It's good.
Yeah. I like that.
I like that.
Right there too. Yeah.
Sounds good. Why don't you get approval from the brand before reselling it on Amazon? You don't need it necessarily. Just as long as you're buying legit inventory, you'll be good to go.
Yeah. From big websites, bro. Garrett, smile. All right.
Good wholesale question here. So they said wholesale question. How do you approach brands that are international, maybe in the Japan or the UK, but selling well on Amazon with a bunch of FBA sellers? So they're probably buying those products from an importer. But what's probably the easiest thing to do is just call up the corporate office. They probably have a US-based phone number, and then just ask them who their main US distributors are, and then reach out to those.
Bang. What's better than that to get in front of the better deals on sites? Just email. How does your sourcing day start? Yeah, so storefront stocking, right, is going to be the biggest thing. And especially the next couple of days with Prime Day, right? So Prime Day is like a mini Black Friday. There's a ton of big retailers that got tons of deals going on. And I think that's going to be a very, very good thing for you to take advantage of right there. But yeah, just having a burner email address, subscribe to as many websites as possible. That's going to feed you deals around the clock, right? And then there's also going to be, just as you do sourcing, the next couple of days, storefront stalking, get started just from profitable stuff you see in our videos, right? Even if it's gated, you can get ungated, right? And then everything, okay, I've been storefront stalk, I'm stuck, step bro, been dry, okay. So I like that. I'm gonna start using that. Interesting. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So the big thing is you're probably either not looking at OA products or you're not using the right discounts to make those OA products good. So if you feel like you're looking at listings that are, it's all really, really big sellers on them, they're probably not OA listings, right? But if you're
a lot with grocery stuff.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And household and stuff that's full
beauty
of
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're looking at stuff that's tends to be more like the clothing niche, or you're going off products you see in Warner and I's videos, it's probably OA stuff, in which case you're just missing the right discounts, right?
I mean, that's why for beginners, clothing, shoes, apparel is such a good beginner category. One, right, because Miles kind of just alluding to, it's just more OA-able, right? Not as many, Nike wholesale accounts going around, but also those listings all have variations, right? So you find the size 8 white Air Forces that are profitable. Well, the chances are there's a connected 9, 10, 11, 12 that are also probably pretty profitable, right? And so while you're diversifying your account, your catalog pretty quickly by not necessarily having to find separate listings, which is huge for new sellers.
Arseni had a good question earlier. They said Meta brand doing 300 plus sales a month with one authorized seller. They'd add me as a second. The MOQ is 1 pallet per SKU, which is going to take 6 months to sell. I'm new with no sales. Should I start with brand or no MOQ distributor? So Arseni, it's a little concerning that it's going to take 6 months to sell through that. So I would probably try to negotiate with the brand and say, listen, I'm okay with 3 months worth of stock maybe, but not 6. So you just don't want all your cash sitting in that product for 6 months. So I try to negotiate a smaller MOQ to start. And if they won't budge on that, then I'd probably just find either a distributor that you can buy from or just go to a different brand. Especially if you're new and this is one of your first wholesale deals, I wouldn't want you tying up a bunch of your capital for 6 months. I just don't think that makes sense.
That's a fact, right?
Yeah,
there.
especially if it's like if you don't have any other Amazon sellers to like take a look at the product for you too. There's a good chance it might not be even a great item if you're new to the game. Could be even worse than like 6 months. So if you do have some friends to bounce ideas off, then it might be a little more confident. But
ROIC, Potter was talking about that.
Yeah, that's game on the podcast, bro. Yeah, return on invested capital.
Mm-hmm.
I told you fellas I'm at 20K plus. Oh, dude, so you're already making a bunch of money. You're struggling sourcing, bro. Join the coach program, Restockopolis. G-Body Benz and I'll get you right there. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, man. This week it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Thursday, Friday. But regardless,
is it fair to say Miles? Miles is kind of organized. Corey's is in shambles. Corey,
my hair is atrocious. This is maybe the longest I've ever gone without a haircut.
I'm chilling.
This may be the longest I've ever gone without a haircut. I was saying
Miles is looking pretty clean.
Yeah, I've been putting it off. I've been so lazy, but yeah, I know.
I'm maxing. Is it better to get your unsold FBA products back into FBM instead? Nah, because if they're not moving FBA, they're definitely not going to move FBM. FBM always gets priority in the buy box. Or sorry, FBA always gets priority in the buy box.
But what's even more important, right, than a couple dollars that you would make FBM is the lessons learned, right? You never want to make the same exact bad buy twice. What that means is, right, go back into the data, go back into the product, understand what the buy cost was, what the target profit was, what the price is now, and really kind of just dissect what went wrong. Did you miss kind of like the offer count starting to rise? Did you miss the sales rank drop, right? Did the listing get removed? Is this something out of your control? Is it something you missed? Like all those sorts of things you can do a post-mortem on for every single one of your purchases, specifically the bad ones, and that'll help you to not make the same mistake twice.
Yes, sir. Oh, God. Okay, LOL. Sorry, we got to relax on that a little bit, man. You can get that comment out there. Goated right there.
Hooney had another wholesale question. He said, do you usually avoid brands
that damn, he cooked Corey's hairline too. LOLs, relax a little bit, man. Relax.
Damn, am I getting roasted? I'm like scrolled up trying to answer some of these other questions.
Oh, that's love. All right, yeah. Okay, you tell me who to pop up. Okay.
Hooney. So he had another wholesale question. He said, do you usually avoid brands that are the dominant seller on their listings, but also have 2 to 3 FBA sellers on average? So this is a good question. There's going to be a lot of brands out there that sell on Amazon themselves, right? So the brand is a seller, but they also have a few authorized FBA sellers. So brands like these, usually there's not a lot of opportunity because, they're selling themselves. They've got a couple of sellers that they trust. It's usually not going to be worth your time to try to go after those. But it doesn't hurt. You can call them up and say, well, hey, I understand you guys are selling on Amazon yourselves. It looks like you've got a few trusted resellers there that you allow as well. What would we need to do to become one of those 2 or 3, right? And like I said, probably not going to be worth your time, but it doesn't hurt. It's good practice too.
Yeah. What do I do if I'm listed FBA and have items selling and the owner changes to include different things in trouble with Amazon? Contact Amazon and get it changed back. It likely wasn't the listing owner. But if it was, then remove it because they have remove order the product because they obviously have full authority over their listings on Zon.
How to get storefront reviews while doing it? I mean, just volume, right? I mean, you can't really dictate how many reviews you're going to get. Just do a lot of volume. You'll get them at some point.
Yeah.
But do not waste time doing the manual requests. That's one thing that it does not make sense.
Yeah, use the feedback requester on unbox them. It's new as of a week or 2 ago. You just set that up automatically and everything, and that'll be a good thing for you. right
Yeah,
out right there.
It's a good PSA for everybody. Yeah, go set that up on Box and it'll automatically start requesting feedback. It's just like a small little boost for your store.
Yeah. Why does Amazon? Why does reverse sourcing fall off, man? So it's not that it does it all, man. Right. In that, like, there's literally nothing more effective than seeing products that are also selling well on Amazon. Literally, when you storefront stock, there's as long as the sales rank's good, it's literally 100% chance that that's a listing that sells well on Amazon, or at least a listing that has variations that sell well on Amazon. Right. So all you have to be able to do, and this is not like all you have to do, right, but is just make those listings good, right? And that's the hard part. That's where the expertise is understanding and finding that each website has one or two tips and tricks that create the margin. And all we got to be able to do is find as many of them as possible right there.
Yeah, it's less about just like randomly scrolling through people's storefronts and using, oh, here's their top 10 brands. Okay, 2 of their top brands are on sale today, and I know how to get a discounted gift card, and there's a sale going on. All right, let me just zero in on that. You can just like click the brand on SellerAmp and just specifically look at that. It'll be a lot more effective than just like randomly scrolling.
LOLs, bro. You don't watch anime? You don't watch anime on LOLs, bro? Is there value in learning how to create your own listings down the road? Dude, yeah, for private label, as well as offering it as a service to brands you want to sell wholesale. And then also just fixing listings too, to increase the volume on them, adding better pictures, better title, better description, etc. Can also increase the volume on OA products too.
That's a really good skill to learn, right? And a lot of people are sleeping on the agency model too, where instead of being the reseller for the brand, you can just sell them services, right? Especially if they are intent on selling themselves, or maybe they're even working directly with Amazon. That's a whole nother can of worms. It's more of an advanced strategy, but bottom line, that's a really good skill to learn. So let's see. Clutch had a good question earlier. He said, if a listing gets taken down that's misbranded, but it gets put back up, is it safe to sell on again? So Clutch, if it gets put back up and it's still misbranded, I wouldn't touch it. But if it got taken down, fixed, and then put back up, then yeah, I think that's great. As long as the UPC on the listing matches the UPC that the product actually is. Because that's another big thing that Amazon's cracking down on, is they're removing listings where the UPC on the listing doesn't match the UPC of the product. So as long as that checks out, you should be good.
Can you isolate by brand? Yeah, that's exactly how you want to do Restockopolis. Yeah, so like what I like really talk with my coaching guys, right, is looking at a storefront when they come to it and thinking, okay, is this OA? Are these OA products, right? If their review count's over 1,000 or they have 500 of a certain brand and 326, probably wholesale, right? But over time, you start to learn more and more what's OA and what's not. And that makes it really easy, because with OA, when you Google it, 99% of the time, you can see the retailer that product comes from. It might not be profitable today, right? But it'll be profitable during big, sales like Prime Day. And really, like, half of retailers are good 24/7, and half of retailers are only good when they have a big sale going on. Luckily, this time of year, we got October Prime Day in the next couple of days, Halloween later this month, early Black Friday, a good bit of next month, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the end of next month, so on and so forth right there. Yeah.
What's up, Tony? We got Tony in here. He said, does the feedback request filter out orders that were returned or were just delivered and maybe returned? Do you guys have any? I assume he's talking about
you can filter out anything that's returned. You can filter out FBM orders, because those are harder to remove if somebody like leaves a bad one. Just log in. You can see all the different like customization, but you can even configure it to just specific products or exclude specific products. Yeah.
That's actually a really key feature, because I think a lot of other feedback request tools don't allow you that level of granularity. They just say, hey, you're either going to request feedback for everything you sell or nothing. But
because you don't want it for the stuff that they return.
Yeah, like no, because then
I definitely don't even want to bait people to leaving FBM return like feedback, because that's like almost impossible to remove.
Yeah, exactly. Ian L had a good question here too. Would you start with the wholesaler if only 2 or 3 of their products are profitable, bringing in about 500 to 1K total monthly? Yeah, absolutely. I assume you're talking about profit there, Ian L. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to make $500 to $1,000 a month profit off a single wholesaler, absolutely. I'd say, why wouldn't you work with them?
HJC actually asking the important question though.
Yeah,
how do you convince your wife that the dining room table is fair game?
yeah, and the garage and the closet.
We'll get up. That's very, that is actually crucial to the mission.
Show them the analytics. Show them the analytics, and they're like, all right, I can deal with it.
Absolutely crucial. right there. So, do you guys respond to negative reviews? You can, but always request removal of them. Yeah, always request.
If it's FBA, they'll get removed regardless. Or after.
No, I think he's asking about negative reviews on listings. I don't think he's talking about negative seller feedback.
Oh, that's
So
a good point.
he's saying, how do you recommend responding to negative reviews on the Amazon listing so it doesn't hurt the brand and maybe even helps conversions? So Arseni, the only reason I would respond to actual product reviews is if I was working directly with the brand and that was like a service I was providing to them, because otherwise there's no real use to doing it. It's just going to take you time and the brand is not going to care. But that is something you can offer to the brand and say, well, hey, we can help you analyze your negative reviews and let you know what people like, what they don't like, so that you can further improve the product. But yeah, I mean, that's just something to consider only if you're working directly with the brand.
Please, I'm new to Amazon. How do I get started? Sourcing optimized for the city. Yeah, watch some of our free courses, Gift Marvis. That's going to be a great place to start. And just, you're in the right place, watching live streams and everything. We're happy to help with that.
Yeah, I posted a video a couple hours ago on sourcing like auto-ungated stuff. So if you're brand new, that'll be a good place to start. A lot of people are liking that so far.
Billy he said it's Q4. Is it advisable to send in products now or just FBM it for now?
Yeah, FBA
and FBM, right? So Billy, when would you guys say stop sending in like
early
seasonal
mid-November?
FBM?
Early mid-November. But like it's more so like it's like November 10th to 15th, or when that specific item starts being popping FBM, which could be today, could have been 2 months ago, Yeah.
You have to focus on Amazon. Yeah. I mean, there's just way more customers on Amazon. So it's like a little bit silly to even worry about like eBay and Facebook Marketplace unless you're doing something a little more specialized.
Yeah, I would agree.
How do you link supply chain documentation if Amazon asks for it since you're on? So I would say OA products are even easier to authenticate than a lot of the wholesale stuff, right? Because the invoice, the receipt's going to say like Walmart or Target or Best Buy, and those are stores that are too big to not recognize.
Amazon's not exactly going to question the validity there.
I would say like the distribution companies that you're buying from, whether supplier or anyone that's not the brand, is probably going to be a little bit more tricky. In which case you want to be buying, obviously, we talk about this all the time, as close to the brand as possible. Ideally the brand or maybe one adjacency off of the brand.
Yeah, I mean, even then, right? We know a lot of people that have had trouble getting ungated, even with brand direct invoices recently. So it's something that it's just been a problem for everyone. I think Amazon's just continuing to crack down on ungating for everyone. But that's still not to say it's impossible, right? People are getting ungated every day. It's just taking more persistence than it ever has. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
which sounds probably a good thing.
Appreciate you,
family, for the dono.
I think that's
I'd say
channel.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, I still love though.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Like what? Like a third of a coffee now? Or we used to call it a coffee when it was $2 or $3.
Coffee's got gone up too now.
When we were streaming 3 or 4 years ago, it was a coffee.
Yeah, you're overthinking it, Anzi. Yeah, credit score don't matter right there. Would it had a problem with brand label ungating? Yeah, so it's most likely that you actually aren't struggling. You just haven't taken the time to understand that getting denied is completely normal. Typically happen 10 to 15 times brand. Sometimes it'll be more, sometimes it'll be less, but just a part of the game there. Yeah.
Restock, you're asking if we got a site database. There's a list I have
for coaching guys for sure.
There's like 100 websites. I just put it in the YouTube chat for you guys on my channel.
Yeah. But so restock op list. I wouldn't, you probably shouldn't be manual sourcing much unless you made money from somewhere. Storefront stocking gonna help you expand significantly more there. Yeah.
Although, I mean, you said you've been doing some sales, so you have like 3 sites. You know what you're doing on. So, like most sites aren't that different. So the 3 sites you figured out, it's like, what is it? It's the resale permit plus a certain sale that rolls around or whatever that specific site is. Like you can replicate that on almost every other site.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks y'all for tapping in here today. Gonna go do a mix of 2018 LeBron and 2016 Steph Curry on at Hoop today and everything. And y'all have a great day. Let's get after it.
All right. See you guys next week.
Good vibes. Thanks, everybody. Good to see you guys.